also wanted to talk with you. We're going to go to the phones in a second about Susan Rice.
All right.
Susan Rice, yesterday was Marcia Fudge, who I erroneously said was the first Black woman head of HUD, but I think that she wasn't the first. Is she? She's not the first. I think Carter might have had Clinton or Carter, somebody is going to correct me on Twitter. I already know, and I'm here to be corrected, so I'm good with that. But Susan Rice, who of course worked in the Obama administration, was this close to be a Secretary of State. She was the ambassador to the UN under President Obama, will now be the White House Domestic Policy Council. She's going to run it because she knows, quote, she knows government inside and out, and will be supercharged. She will supercharge the effort to build back the White House. So her appointment is a signal that Biden wants his domestic and foreign policy advisors to work hand in hand with him. And he has touted the idea of creating a foreign policy for the middle class that takes into account the domestic impact of international trade, globalization, and other international issues. Listen, she's been on this show. I think she's, more than capable. She's brilliant. She's a brilliant woman. I feel like, Drew, that we've seen this before. I would like to see different people. It's sort of like even doing this radio show.
Yeah.
I could, of course I have you, but you're not like on CNN every night or MSNBC every night. And, maybe one day you will be. I like going out and finding different voices that I haven't heard. Like I literally do the work on, combing the social media spaces for people who are saying things and doing things that I don't know about, and I think it's because if I don't know about it, maybe somebody out there doesn't know about it. And the introduction of new blood, I know that there's some brilliant people out there who could fill this role. What are your thoughts?
Listen, part of what a lot of us said in the beginning was Biden could be, the third Obama administration, that Biden is the person who could get the Obama coalition back together in terms of the voting bloc, as well as in terms of people running government who knew what the hell that they were doing, right? Susan Rice knows what the hell she's doing. I think Susan Rice would be better suited for something that was based on foreign policy, because that's what she's built her entire government career around, is foreign policy. But I know she couldn't be Secretary of State because they don't want to have to deal with relitigating Benghazi all over again, even though I think nobody could put a finer point and a period at the end of the sentence on Benghazi better than Hillary Clinton did after 8 hours of testimony where she was unshaken, unbothered, unfettered, right? And Benghazi's been litigated literally at least 15 times. There have been 15 open and closed investigations on Benghazi at this point, saying that there was no way that it could have been avoided by American intervention from the State Department, et cetera, or from the Obama administration. I like Susan Rice. I do think, though, that at some point we do have to get some new voices. I think Susan Rice is great. I think she'll be someone who will make decisions based on what's best for America and not based on what's best for her, because Susan Rice is is already one of the wealthiest people to ever serve in government, right? So she doesn't need to move through these hallways of state to enrich herself or to make money. I like Susan Rice. I think she would be better fitted for a foreign policy gig, but I also know that Biden wants to have people that he trusts. He wants to have people that he knows can get the job done. He wants to have people that are diverse. And at last count, I think that he had named 12 cabinet members, and there were 8 people of color, 6 women. So I think he's committed to making sure that his folks are diverse. But I don't think that pulling together everybody that worked for the Obama administration is the right thing to do. I think Tom Vilsack is an awful choice for Secretary of Agriculture. I think I look at all of these appointments based on their proximity to Blackness and what will happen to Black people if they get in power and have these jobs. And I say, if you want to talk about who should be in charge of the Department of Agriculture, talk to Black folks, talk to Black farmers. And all of the Black farmers, every Black farming organization says that Tom Vilsack is the wrong person to lead this. That when the Black farmers during the Obama administration. And hey, Vilsack has had this job. He had it for 8 years under Barack Obama. And Black farmers consistently said, this man is anti-civil rights. He's anti-Black rights. He's on the wrong side of history as it relates to Black farmers in this country. He's made horrible decisions as it relates to Black farmers. So does Biden get a pass? Absolutely not. I think that he has made an egregious mistake in having Tom Vilsack as Secretary of Agriculture. All you got to do is go back to Shirley Sherrod. If you remember Shirley Sherrod, Tom Vilsack and his team, he's the person who fired Shirley Sherrod. And then we had to go back and hear about all of the backpedaling and the apologizing. Oh, she didn't say something racist. She actually said what Shirley Sherrod was actually saying was true, and she was speaking on behalf, quite honestly, of the messaging from Black farmers that said we have been systemic racism has kept us from getting the loans we need to keep our farms, that racism exists in the Department of Agriculture. Racism has existed long term in terms of how Black farmers and farmers get loans. They didn't get loans at rates. They got denied incessantly. They've lost their land. And so I say, listen to Black folks on some of this stuff. Now you go back, and Black folks are going at me, but I also am not the world's biggest fan of Biden's pick for Secretary of Defense either. Yes, he's a Black man. I want to see Black folks in these roles, but U.S. foreign policy, we always raise our eyebrows when military people take over these senior roles in government. In a functioning democracy, civilians are in charge of government. That's the reason why people who are former military usually have to wait 7 years before they can get high-ranking government appointments. That has been, historically, that's been the way we've done it in America. And this guy, he's Black. I think he's amazing. He's the Obama coalition loved him. He served honorably, all of those things, but he's only been out of the military for 4 years. And if we were any other country and a military general was taking over these government decisions about military, the UN and all the people who watch, governments would have a huge issue with that. Get somebody Black. I'm down for that. There are tons of great Black people who have the gravitas to hold this role, but I don't know about having a Black general in that particular role, particularly one who is less than 5 years out of the military. Do I think it's going to be dangerous? Absolutely not. But I do think that we don't just roll the dice and just pick Black people because they're Black, because that's Clarence Thomas. Yeah.
Daniel Cameron, AG from Kentucky, Tim Scott. I mean, let's and to him a lesser, but still, all kinfolk ain't kinfolk, and Black military people tend to, and I'm gonna say this, y'all can at me, but there is a walk in lockstep mentality, especially if you raise up in the ranks, is because you followed orders well. Yeah. You don't get to be generals, you don't get to be high-ranking members in the military doing your own thing. Or even questioning or challenging the status quo. Yeah, you just don't. I'm sorry. 866-801-8255. And we're just now hearing Colin Powell, who took his self to the UN with some fake yellow cake uranium pictures, following orders. Now, he has since, because he's 80, he's now his full happy self. But I don't know. I don't know if I want him. Everyone's like Colin Powell for president. Even I said he would make a good Republican nominee. Yeah, but we're still
great nominee, but I don't know about president, right? For Colin Powell.
I don't know.
And can I say one last thing about that too? And here's the thing I know y'all going at me, but here's one of the things that concerns me about it too. America is still America, right? So here's what I mean by that is that I don't necessarily want to see a Black man as the face of some of the fuckery that America does overseas.
Come on. Oh, you said it. I don't, if anybody at you, let me know, because I agree with that. Don't you at him for that. That's
Listen.
spot on. Yeah, let's not be the face of colonization, and let's not be the face of you know.
Listen, don't get me started talking about drone strikes. Don't get me talking about some of the other stuff that we do. Don't get me started talking about some of the arms deals that we make and have made historically. Like, listen, I want to see the Council of Wakanda in DC under the Biden-Harris administration. But I want the right folks, number one, and I also want long-term for us to be able to be extremely proud of the work that these people did, and for them to be set up to go on and do greater things and to move through the world. And, last thing on Vilsack, he was Mr. Monsanto. Like, I mean, I didn't like him as an Obama appointee. I thought he was too close to big, agribusiness anyway. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I like some of the stuff that Biden has done. I would have rather have seen Karine Jean-Pierre or Simone Sanders be actual press secretary, and be on the podium every day. But even Simone came out the other day and said that Lloyd Austin will be serving as a civilian, and that lets me know that they already know to a certain extent that some of us who watch these things closely are watching with that skeptical eye. We watching with our third eye on it. So,
and we should not go, oh, Biden Harris, whatever you do is fine. This is what this looks like. We're not being negative. We're holding people accountable because they work for us. And we should scrutinize everything because they work for us, we the people, in order to form. It's us. They work for us. So we should question everything. Did they check in with you, Drew? Because the meeting with some civil rights leaders, I was wondering if, and I'm like, y'all doing that tired thing again, going to the civil rights leaders as if they have the voice of the people in their hands. Like, y'all need to, Jesus.
Yeah, you can't, they cannot use that. They can't use the Clinton playbook for this shit, because the Clinton playbook is played and did not work, has not worked. And quite honestly, they can't use the Obama playbook either, because the electorate is way more informed now and is way more engaged now than under Barack Obama. And here's the deal, is that we see the mistake we made with Barack Obama. Great president, did an incredible amount of things. I'm one of the people who gets their back up when it comes to defending the fact that Barack Obama did a lot for Black folks, but we did not question Barack Obama the way that we should have in his first term. And a lot of us whispered our corrections and our questions about Barack Obama in the second term because he was our dude, right? And so I feel like that, one, we need to question more, question from the beginning. Don't say, oh, well, he's going to do it in the second term. No. He's going to do it in the first 100 days, or we're going to have some questions, and we're going to start asking, and we're going to start calling, and we're going to start acting the complete fool if we don't get some semblance of understanding of exactly what we do. And so that accountability factor is something that the Biden-Harris administration will have to get used to, and they're going to have some real responses and some real reactions, because the criticisms and the questions will come, and government deserves criticism. Government deserves question. That's what a democracy is.
So stop going to the same people that make you comfortable.
Right.
And those civil rights leaders, God bless them, but they're not the council at the Matrix. That we didn't appoint them to be.
Yeah, I didn't vote. I didn't vote for those people. Right. And here's the other deal.
To represent us.
To represent us. And low key, high key, you're not a civil rights leader if your criticism and questioning of government hinges and contingents upon whether or not they buy a table at your nonprofit's quarterly chicken dinner award ceremony. And I'm gonna leave it at that, because I've been one of those people that wrote them checks for the tables at the quarterly chicken dinners and galas and events, right? So for me, who represents me, I want some say in that.
No ding or nothing? Damn, that was fire. Can he get some horns? I know we go. All right, fine. All right. I love that. Yeah.
Smiz on the ones and twos.
All right. Yeah.